Let's see if I would block anything.
You go outside and do it.
She wants you to go outside and do it.
You don't want me to do it here?
So she's not
If you
on
can't get a
camera.
connection, honey, go outside.
No, I have a connection. I'm good. I want to hang out with my mummy.
Aw, how cute is he?
Look at that.
Okay.
He sounds
Let's see if I can get this going. What's up, guys? We'll let a couple people file in, but we'll get to college basketball slate in the next little bit. How we doing? How is everyone? We are going to real quick. I have a couple of things I want to go over from last night about the Texas game, the Temple game. Temple just kind of, I mean, dude, that's not Temple's fault. They lost their two best players during that game. That's really difficult. But we'll start with questions. I've seen all these things about people saying like Texas was the sharp side and bragging about having Texas. You're on the wrong fucking side in that game. I'm sorry, but markets are not efficient right now. I'm good, brother. How are you? How are you, Marty? What's up, Liam? Yes. What are you saying? What would you ask? UConn -7 is a great play. Public all over Marquette. UConn wins by 15. I could see UConn winning by 15, I guess. Agbaji had a really bad game yesterday. I don't know what happened, but Kansas was up by like 5 or 6 with like a minute to go. I have no idea what happened at the end of that game. And then Harris taking the final shot on that dopey layup. Yeah, that made no sense. Liam, I'm reading it, buddy. UConn by 15. First of all, I don't think the line's -7 anymore. I think it came down to 6. I saw it was at 6 before. So it was up from the 5.5 we looked at yesterday. I don't know, man. That's wide. UConn wins that game because this is kind of a terrible spot for Marquette. And I don't know, the inside guys should dominate a little more today at home. But I don't know. I think 6 is a lot, dude. Even if it is UConn's matchup, it's just a lot right now. I still lean Marquette spread, but I think UConn wins the game. If you're looking at that, there's probably going to be a decent live betting opportunity. So I would look for UConn. There's a group. I don't know. Kansas had a really bad game, dude. That was really, really bad. Really, really bad. But same thing with Temple. Temple was missing free throws at the end of the game too. Granted, they're young as shit. We expected that, but I mean, not a whole lot you can do. They're up by 3 with like a couple minutes to go, and they don't have their two best players. That was really tough. Like Damian Dunn wasn't even really playing yesterday. So I think that Temple game is just kind of like that's what happens. How I don't give out UVA, how we had no money line on UVA is my bad. I'm frustrated about that one. Oklahoma State +2 at TCU. I don't know. I was leaning TCU in that spot, but it's just every game is so much more important for Oklahoma State. We took TCU money line in the first matchup this season, and we got like 5 or 6 at Oklahoma State. We probably should have won that game. So I don't know. I was initially leaning TCU, but I mean, I'm not going to – TCU can lose to anybody. I feel like they can almost beat anybody. So I was leaning TCU actually, but I don't have a strong take on that. Back at home after 2 losses, and Marquette just beat Nova. UConn at home. Yeah. I think UConn wins the game. It's a really good spot for them, but they still have to covering 6. Why is it -7 then if Marquette just beat Nova and UConn lost 2 in a row? Does it make sense? Because markets continue over. When has Marquette gotten any respect this season? Why were they just 7-point dogs at home to a Nova team that's not that good and struggles with athleticism? I mean, I don't know. I think the market's just super inefficient right now. And I think it came back down to -6. So somebody bet it overnight up to 7, and the market's pulling it back down to 6. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back down to 5.5. But I mean, look at yesterday. Why was Hofstra -6 over UNCW? UNCW's playing lights out second half of the season. Why? Hold on a sec. Why then? I mean, explain that. It's just the markets can be inefficient. They're super inefficient right now. There's so much stupid money in the market. It's the same thing I was talking about earlier when everybody's bragging about their Texas pick last night. If you were on Texas last night, you were on the wrong fucking side. I don't know what to tell you. If you watched the game, you're on the wrong side. You couldn't have even expected Trey Mitchell to play that well, to keep it that close, and to be down at the end. You're on the wrong side. I mean, it's just the market's not very efficient right now. The Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State. I just feel like Oklahoma State's like the most broken team on the planet. They should be so good. They should be challenging for the Big 12 title. So disappointed I didn't take UVA ML. You have no idea how disappointed I am I didn't wreck UVA money line. All I do is wreck money lines, and I didn't wreck UVA money line. I didn't either, bro. So I felt really stupid. Getting sick thinking about that TCU choke versus OSU last time. Exactly. That's a problem. What's up, Brady? How are you, brother? Yeah, we were on that side, but I think TCU was probably the right side in that matchup, though. I mean, they were the right side in that matchup, but even like if you make the spread, it was like +6 or something, and we took the money line on that. But even if you make it a lot tighter, I think we were still on the right side. Yeah, I know it is sketchy. Well, the thing is, Oklahoma State's also, I feel like, gets love for the fact that, every game is 10 times more important to them than everybody else. Also banked in that 3-pointer. But are you talking about the final one? Because he got fouled on it. So I thought, Beekman got fouled, and Beekman's got a big dick, huh? He's a man. How we liking Northern Illinois +8.5? That's going to probably end up being my best bet of the day. It's going to be, I don't have any 8.5s available. Granted, I'm super limited because I'm in Florida. So I didn't even look at other shit. But +8, I have Northern Illinois. I also took them at +290. It's two bang heads. It's two rough and toughs banging heads. They rely on toughness. Both teams do. So it's like, I think Kent State's a really good proxy for this game. You see how they both play against Kent State. You can kind of see how they're going to play against each other. And I think we have the better scores. Like, I would take Hankerson over Castaneda. So I'm going to take some Northern Illinois outright. They play teams like this really tough. And I think Akron's getting way too much respect. I mean, they're getting respect for scooping the home and home against Miami, Ohio. Miami, Ohio is broken as shit, and we all know that. Arkansas as well. I lean Arkansas over Auburn, but I'm so fucking tired of losing money on Auburn. I can't even begin to explain to you how tired I am of losing money on Auburn. I think Jalen Williams should be enough, right? He should be enough in this matchup to, at least he's going to cancel Kessler, and we worry less about Jabari inside anyways. And then Arkansas has kind of dropped likes from the lineup, which we were calling for before. So Arkansas is trending in the right direction. I'm not as worried about the Auburn performance against Georgia. I'm more impressed they got it done. It's unbelievably hard to win on the road. It's very hard to win on the road in college basketball. It's just what it is. Beekman was insane. The steal in the M1 after getting glass. Yo, Beekman is just a pure winner. That kid doesn't know how to lose. He is a pure winner. He is awesome. Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about now, the steal on the 1-1 after getting glassed. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, that was an awesome play. South Carolina +10.5. Who? Oh, against Kentucky. Oh, I watched the South Carolina game against I don't know why Cousinard has taken like 2 steps back this season, but he has. I think this is too wide. I was honestly thinking about like waiting and seeing if South Carolina could keep it close for like the first 10 minutes and then live in Kentucky at a better price. Because I watched a little bit of the Tennessee game. I don't think if South Carolina is getting shellacked by Tennessee at home, I guess it's a little bit of an easier matchup because they're going to be able to get to the rim a little bit more and shit against Kentucky. But I mean, man, the level of guard play, like when you watch like Reese, the little Devin Carter kid, and what's the other kid's name? Oh, Cousinard, who I just said, they're like terrible. Like they're actually bad. It's like, this is not good. So I don't know, taking them over Kentucky, I just have a problem with that from like I'd just rather be on Kentucky, I think. I honestly, somebody was asking me last night who my top 3 teams in college basketball are right now, and it's such like a middling mosh, like in the middle. This tournament could be absolutely wide open, but when I had to answer it, like gun to my head, I think I went Auburn, Kentucky, and I think Duke at the end of the season, but I threw like Providence in there because I couldn't even think of the third one. It's such a mosh. Fordham lean. Anybody but St. Bonnie's is a lean, I guess. But I don't want to take Fordham kind of struggle. Inside, are we going to have problems? Oham's in them against the Sunier. You wouldn't think too much gets done. Maybe we can get some stuff done from the outside, but I don't know. I guess I'd lean that way because St. Bonnie sucks. And they're like tanking. They're just like falling off the cliff. Purdue or Illinois, I think Purdue rolls. What is it, 6? They should be able. I mean, how many other people can really control Kofi? Coburn is sharp one. Is Curbelo playing? I think that's interesting if Curbelo is playing. Jake, why does Vegas keep favoring LSU? If I wasn't an LSU fan, I'd probably take A&M at home. I'm leaning A&M at home. Couple issues. Well, first of all, LSU, I completely agree with you that you can't trust anybody on that team outside of Brandon Murray. I really don't think you can trust anybody. But I'm assuming they think that Days and like why can't Tari Eason are both going to punish A&M inside. A&M's been pretty soft inside, man. It's pretty tough. That's my issue. I wanted to take A&M. I might have taken it at the bigger number to open. Like if you could have given me like a plus 160, plus 170, something like that, I would have taken it. But where it is now so short, I don't think I could do it just with that inside. Like it's such a big disparity inside. It's such a problem. Okay, well, the Curbelo thing's big. I think Kofi gets in foul trouble early, and Omar Payne is terrible. Omar Payne is beyond terrible. Omar Payne shouldn't play for like your intramural team in college. But I can definitely see that narrative. I can definitely see it. I just literally like when you lose money on these Purdue guards, you cannot be mad at anybody but yourself. They stink. They really do just stink, and they won't make the right play. Like unlike we talked about that yesterday, Michigan State's guards on one hand know what they're supposed to do. They know we're an inside team and we feed through the inside. Purdue doesn't know that. They should know because they have better big men, but they just like don't know it on every play and just aren't steady enough with it. Other than Arkansas being at home, why is that line so tight? I was thinking Auburn minus 4.5 would be the line. I think a lot of it could be matchup wise too. I mean, Jalen Williams is going to be able to hold up inside. He's playing very well, and he's going to apply some pressure on the offensive end. Can he maybe be the guy that gets Walker Kessler in a little foul trouble? Who is the only other guy to do that? What's his face on Florida? Castleton is really the only other guy I've seen like own Kessler this season. But Jalen Williams is so talented. Perimeter defense wise, we probably have the bigger, better guards that are more experienced. Like I think that's what drives a lot of the lack of respect for Auburn in the market. It's these guards. Like people don't believe in Wendell Green. I don't really, but he's making me believe more in him each day. Katie Johnson, same thing. I don't believe in him, but a little bit more each day. So it's like it's tough. But I think that's where the lack of respect comes from. I mean, it's from the guard play. People don't believe in their guards, just like they don't believe in Michigan State's guards, just like we kind of don't. But Auburn's turning me because at some point it's just like, and that Katie Johnson kid is tough as nails. He really is. Curbelo is healthy. That's a really difficult one. Either way, I can understand it because then there's like between him, Grandison, and Frazier and stuff, it's pretty big edge in guard play. And then if Coburn can hold up on the other end, like the reverse side of that matchup, like, yeah, maybe they get him in foul trouble. But what if he doesn't? And then you got pretty steady presence to block the inside stuff, and then you're relying on like Purdue's guards to cover 6. I'd rather blow my brains out than do that. I like how we both love Wyoming. I have it capped at -6. -6 is that's you don't have much respect for Mr. Justin Bean, eh? I understand it, whatever. I have it. So I mean, it's not far off from mine. I said like 3.5, 4, something like that. But I mean, Wyoming, I mean, you got to give them, first of all, Wyoming home court plays up, right? And there's never, we talked about that last time, but there's never, holy shit, what did I drop? Oh, shit. There's never enough respect given for Wyoming home court and the altitude it has. But I also think they're just a better team. I mean, Wyoming's a better team than Utah State. We have the coaching match. Like the Ryan Odom or whatever for Utah State's a really, really good coach. But Jeff Linder's probably better. We have the better closers. Matchup-wise, is there really a single matchup on the floor that you hate? No. So I think we're fine. They're going to have a little experience at guard play, a little experience edge, but Maldonado's got some stones. Navy and Texas pulled through for me yesterday. Yeah, we leaned the Navy side. That seemed right. Texas, I'm sorry, brother. I don't think that was the right side of that game. I'm just hoping Illinois doesn't shoot the lights out from 3. I mean, that's the variance baked into them every game. They chuck so many threes. I actually am starting to. I don't believe in Plummer, but I do believe in Frazier, and I do believe in Grandison. I think Grandison's kind of like the steal of that little group that people talk about less and hate on a lot. But I think if he kind of gets going, like his physical attributes plus his shot and stuff, he's the guy that could end up being the best person on that team. But Frazier now leader. They have better guards. I didn't really think about it as much, but they do have the better guard play at +6. And if it's does Kofi get in foul trouble? Maybe you live that one. If Kofi gets in foul trouble, you just start hammering. And then, how do we feel about Illinois at the lines dropping on who for the Purdue game? Yeah, you can see why Illinois' money's coming in. They have the better guards. How do we feel about, although we will say Purdue's guards have been playing a little bit better in over the last, month, maybe? I'm a Grandison hater for sure. Oh, I know you are, Marty. I was waiting for you. Hold on. Okay, how do we feel about Indiana at Northwestern? I would lean Indiana. I have them as a lean, and the price is actually decent. I just can't trust those. I can't trust them on the road, really. It's difficult for me to trust them on the road. UNC, do you want to trust them on the road? Another one. Do you want to trust them on the road? I honestly don't even know if I'd lean that way. Because for as much athleticism and stuff they're going to have, it's not really going to be at the guard spot. Sure, we're going to punish inside with Baycott and shit, but every time you take UNC route to victory through Baycott on the road, you leave feeling disappointed, right? Same thing as when we took Notre Dame earlier this season. I just I don't trust them. Every time I trust RJ Davis a little bit, he gives it right back. How are we feeling on Arkansas, brother? So I touched on that one. I lean that way. But I can't keep getting in front of this Auburn train without better reasons too. But they're doing everything right? Jalen Williams playing very, very well. Not playing Chris Likes anymore. That's the move. You don't want any Chris Likes. So they're trending up. They're on fire. 8-game win streak? So I can see it going either way. I just I need a better price. If I'm going to fade Auburn, I want a +200 or something to do it with. And maybe a little more trustworthy guards that are winners. But from a matchup perspective, because of the size they're going to have on the perimeter too, I think Arkansas is the right side. Indiana is the right side in that game, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's the right side. I just don't know if I can get to the fucking window on them. Okay. Also love Nets +8.5. I got that as well. I'm going to end up playing the Nets. With the spread, I think they can win outright. The Celtics are so up and down, so fucking all over the place. I mean, they can look like world beaters sometimes, and then other games they look so disengaged, freaking all over the place. They can beat anybody. They can lose to absolutely anybody. We have decent matchups for the wings. I think with the young kids, they're going to fucking try hard. So, I think this is the perfect type of spot. I also saw that they're talking about trading Ben Simmons for freaking for Harden, straight up, which is crazy. I feel bad. CJ McCollum got traded. He had his whole life set up in I think he's got his girlfriend to transfer there for residency, some of my buddies were saying. But all my friends were pretty broken up about that shit. What is RLM? Reverse line movement with who? Arkansas? Sure. I've kind of talked about this before, but I place little to no stock in market metrics anymore. When people are 87% of the money's on this team, fucking 20%'s on this team. From what fucking sources? And all of the concepts go. I argue this about with a lot of the people I work with. If you trust in those metrics and use them for your handicapping, so you're 87% of the money's on this team, so X% of the tickets and the lines move this way. The core concept of that is that the market's efficient. If the market's not efficient, all that shit means literally the poop on your shoe. So your base assumption from that is that the market's efficient. If you don't think the market's efficient, I've talked about this before. I can't give away too many things, but in UFC, if you take favorites of -200 or less, this will not go out on any TikTok things because I really can't share this information because I've worked with other people on it. It's not all wholly mine. If you take favorites in the UFC at -200 or less that lose to line movement, you'd be up 50 units over the last 2 years blindly. You'd have a stupid fucking ROI. And all you have to do is just fade the market in UFC because it's such an immature market. With all the money that's fucking piled in from Asia, from all these other people, new bettors, stuff like that, you get stuff like last night. Everybody, like, you just, the core assumption that the market is efficient, if you believe that, then you can use a lot of those metrics. Otherwise, I think you get yourself into a lot of trouble. And I know unbelievably smart people that'll argue with me on that. That's my take. I believe the market's unbelievably inefficient right now, which is why I'm putting more and more time into it. Wisconsin or Michigan State? Michigan State for me. It's the matchup up front. Sure, I don't think there was Tyler Wall last time, now that I think about it. But just the athleticism, the size. Like Malik Hall is like turning himself into basically an NBA player, right? I think they have too much up front. And Johnny Davis has kind of been playing like shit, let's be honest about it. He just hasn't been his fuck you self in the beginning of the year. And that's what that team needs to go in and beat a team like Michigan State. I'd rather be on Michigan State personally. Granted, we don't really love their guards, but I just matchup-wise, I got to take Michigan State. I definitely lean that way. Banchero was pretty bad in the second half yesterday with bad turnovers late. He was. I mean, they need to listen to us talk and talk about how Jeremy Roach needs to be running and doing absolutely everything for that team, and he's not yet. Who is Richard Simmons minus 3.5? Is Richard Simmons not the guy who wears the little thingy on his, like the little thing and does the – so I'm not sure. Please elaborate. You know anything about St. Thomas? Like them against UMKC? Great shooters, all seniors. Yeah, and the spots at home. I don't disagree. I was kind of leaning that way. I do respect UMKC, but they shouldn't be road favorites in the spot. We have a few points of line value. Probably we have the headier team, whatever. They need like a little moment. I was thinking about taking some St. Thomas money line just because I feel like it should be flipped. Celtics minus 7.5. Yeah, I guess that shit's moving, but no, I don't want anything to do with the Celtics. I think the Brooklyn's almost undoubtedly the right side in that game, and I think they can win outright. That little like young core group on the Nets plays a lot better when the chips are down. Like when they have no stars in the lineup and shit, and it's just a mushmash or whatever. They play pretty well. Texas A&M, yeah, I lean that way, but I'm worried about inside. And I don't feel like I'm getting a good enough price for those worries about the interior problems we might have. The player I hate most as a veteran is Johnny Juzang. That's funny from last night. Yeah, man, I love him though. I think he's really, really good. I think that team is really – it's a weird team. Like you think about how they're a bunch of older guards and shit, and they made it so far last season. It's like this beginning of the season downturn or whatever, kind of expected. I agree. Just so hard for me to see Clemson winning without Hunter Tyson. Yeah, but whoever they're going to throw in there will probably have a little more meat on their bones to deal with what's his face, Manic and Baycott. Hunter Tyson is very important, I agree, and how he stretches the floor, though. Where is this kid reading from? What do you mean, bro? Reading what? Nico from Marg? From Arg. Where's Arg? Where do you live? Arky, yeah. I lean the Arkansas way over 152.5. Kent State? Who the fuck is Kent State playing? Dude, I have like absolutely no service in here, so I can't really check like shit like for games I haven't looked at, unfortunately. It's really hard for me to check because there's like, oh, against Bowling Green. Yeah, I lean that way because I think Bowling Green has a really good chance in that game. Fucking Kent State had to drop 91 on their faces to win last time and shot way better than they usually do. I think Sincere Carey dropped like 35 points in that game, and they won by 8. So they were actually able to minimize, because what Bowling Green's going to do is they're just going to spread the floor, play a shitload of guards, and say like, hey, Kent State, if you want to play 2 or 3 big men like you usually do, go for it, and we'll just fucking have a scoring contest. So that's how they're gonna keep themselves in the game. I'm surprised this line. I saw it was at 6.5, and I saw it just moved up to 7.5. I mean, we kind of like Kent State, but I got to lean Bowling Green at that number, and I get the over for sure. I would not want to play the under in this matchup. LSU, Texas A&M. We talked about that a few times, boys. The number's not wide enough for me to take Texas A&M with their interior issues, and they're on like a 6-game losing streak where they just lost to Mizzou. So like similar kind of thing where you're gonna get punished inside. How injured is Darius Days? Because he should probably get his shit together at some point. Thoughts of TCU game? Lean that way. But I just think games mean so. I feel like there's a lot of variance. Who's going to shoot better in this game? Because they seem to both eat dick at shooting. Like TCU, I mean, it doesn't even look good coming from anybody's hands. I mean, I guess I do think O'Bannon's been a big. O'Bannon has been a big development for them, which is really important. Which is what's kind of making me lean the TCU side, because then we're not as reliant on Miles, Baugh, and stuff to hit threes because they can't freaking do it. So O'Bannon being a big scoring option, like if they just let him and Emmanuel Miller shoot every time, I think they'd be a lot better. Bounce back game for Sparty, agreed. Archie clapping Auburn, I would love to see it. I definitely wouldn't be on Auburn tonight, that's for sure. With Jalen Williams inside, Jalen Williams is playing very, very good basketball. He really is. Can you please talk about UNC game? I love the under. Interesting. And without Tyson too, that's very interesting at 149.5. I don't know. My problem with UNC is that I trust them about as far as I can throw them on the road. And I can't throw like 12 kids very far. But like we've seen it over and over again. Like how different is this matchup from Notre Dame versus UNC? Granted, we're later in the season, but how much has UNC evolved? So like I thought I'd be licking my chops on UNC, but I just because I like RJ Davis long term, but every time I believe in him, he bites me in the ass 5 minutes later. So fuck it. I'm taking Clemson if I have to. The under seems to make sense. Who goes in, if anybody has it, who goes in for Baycott? What the fuck? Lehigh stuff did. You like the Halliburton trade? Somebody traded Halliburton? That franchise, I swear to God, can't get out of their own way. What happened? Because I can't see anything. Who, please somebody tell me what happened in the Halliburton trade? Who would trade Tyrese Halliburton? Did they at least let Davion Mitchell free? Did they set him free? Because that's ridiculous. That makes me sad inside. I feel broken and sad inside after you telling me that. This thing takes so long to load. Kings traded Halliburton for Sabonis? Oh, my God. I saw the Cavs got LeVert, though. That's pretty sweet. Me and my buddy were talking about that last night. How about that starting five now? Move I don't know who you move to the bench. Do you move Mobley or do you move what's-his-face to the bench? The big four-man that used to play at Arizona whose name is escaping me. What a terrible trade for the Kings. They will never get out from under themselves. That team will just, oh, my God. Caleb Love has really disappointed me. Caleb Love will continue disappointing you till the day you stop turning on UNC basketball. Him and that Walton kid, Kermit Walton, have absolutely no fucking idea what they're doing, and they have no self-awareness to just understand like any type of role, any type of anything. They're fucking clueless, both of them. Not to be mean. Days is not super injured. He's banged up, but he's been hitting the boards well, averaging. Yeah, he's shooting like 1 for 10 every time I check in on his box scores. They need him to score. I mean, it's just what it is. You either got to score a little bit, you got to get the fuck out of the lineup. I'm sorry. I know you're the bigger, older guy and stuff, but we need points. We just can't manufacture enough with our children at guards, or like we were never going to with Pinson. So, like, we need points out of that spot. I just don't care because we got the Reed kid. You got to score points if you want to be in the lineup. I really like Days, and I think he's a good leader, or at least well enough. But there's something wrong with that. If you want to find out more about LSU, try searching for, like, Eric Gaines on YouTube. That kid, I think they're that team, because Will Wade isn't like super strict with them. I think they have a lot of outside influences. Let's put it that way. I think they deal with a lot of different things going on. If some of it was dealing drugs, I'd be like, makes sense from what I watched. Arkansas lean that way. Auburn point guard is out. Wendell Green's out. Wendell Green is out. If Wendell Green is out, I think you're safe to take. I think that would lean me into taking Arkansas. If Wendell Green is indeed out, is it him or is it KD Johnson? I think they would consider Wendell Green the point guard, but he comes off the bench. So who are we talking about? Let's clarify that, because I think that's interesting. Lean Michigan over someone shitty that they're playing. I think the answer is, Penn State? Probably. Penn State's a team I just don't have any read on. And if you really want to take the Michigan guards might have some problems. But what the fuck is Penn State going to do inside? At some point, Harrar just going to get owned. And like, oh, Diabate covering at the 4 spot. Yeah, I'll lead Michigan from a matchup perspective. 6.5 point spreads are my kryptonite. That's hilarious. I've never paid attention to shit like that enough to know. I wonder what my kryptonite is. It's probably road faves. Bowling Green, Kent State. Lean Bowling Green, high-scoring game. I'll take the guard play. They're just going to spread them out and say, fuck it. So I'd take the 7 points with Bowling Green, I think. It's just going to be a matchup of guards, and, like, we need Sinceri Carey to have an awesome game, and will he? I don't know, maybe. West Virginia over Iowa State. Big one in that one, Taz Sherman. It's interesting whether he's playing or not. I think you want to find it out either way. Because either Iowa State's going to get slammed right before tip if he's out, because I believe it's at like minus 130, minus 135, something like that. Or you can take West Virginia. But knowing Taz Sherman, I mean, he's kind of like the biggest scoring option, whatever. I'd be still interested in taking West Virginia without him. But I want, just because, I mean, Iowa State on the road, I mean, I like to pick them. But I need to know the status so I can get line value. I like Ohio over Eastern Michigan. Yeah, Eastern Michigan's broken. I can understand that. Bowling Green, agreed. Ohio, OSU, TCU game. This thing needs to fucking load because the new things aren't coming in. Okay, there we go. Sorry, bro. This thing takes a really long time to load because I'm in here. OSU, TCU game. We talked about that. Lean TCU. LSU players aren't disciplined. Murray and Pinson only disciplined controllers. Agreed. I love Brandon Murray, and I wish he went somewhere else for college because I think he'd be so good. Marist, I was interested to see because I was liking Marist too. And I was interested to see the line kind of move the other way from at least where I saw it. I would lean the Marist direction. A little worried about, I mean, the thing is, you're not getting a ton of value fading Monmouth anymore. And Marist, it's like a bunch of children on the road. So, like, theoretically, from a matchup perspective, I like it. I think they're tough enough to hang with them. I think it can cause enough resistance. And I think we probably, we have really good guard play on Marist, in a year or two. But if that game falls apart and you have a bunch of freshman guards on the road, then, there's not a lot of things you can blame, but I 100% lean that way. Easton is 6'7", can guard any position well, can't shoot, poor awareness and court vision, raw talent. That's very good scouting. I like that a lot. Poor awareness and court vision is fucking amazing. You nailed him on the head. Indiana -1, lean that way, brother. I just can't trust. It's like these guards. It's like if you can trust them, then definitely go for it. I think they're definitely the side to lean. But like with Audige or whatever on whoever the lead ball handler is going to be, it's just like if we commit a bunch of turnovers and fart in our own faces, how surprised am I going to be? Same thing with RJ Davis. It's just like, so I will lean Clemson, but I'm going to lean Indiana. I do think Indiana can get it done. It's more also I don't believe in Northwestern. I could see this line being like -3, and I'd be like, all right. He's talking about Zep Jasper. Oh, whoa. Arguably more important than Wendell Green, because he's kind of like the steady Eddie. It's almost like it's a class full of freshmen. He's like the older kid in the class. It's like, hey, stop that, or like whatever, a supervisor. So Zep Jasper is really big. Wow, that's massive. Whoo. I still want a better price, kind of. I feel like that and LSU, like if I was getting like +3 or something like that, it's just tough because Zep Jasper, without him, though, I cannot blame anybody going on Arkansas tonight. I mean, it's like, do I want to fade Auburn? But without Zep Jasper, he is the older kid on that team that kind of keeps everybody. So without him, you're extremely right. Eason is only concerned with NBA at this point. I think he's overrated. I saw him going in mock drafts in like the top 15. You take him in the top 15, fucking good luck. The Kings will probably do it. I bet you the Kings draft him. What a crazy trade. Tyrese Halliburton is like one of like kind of like a future prototype in the NBA of like a big guard versus Sabonis, who's borderline unplayable in some matchups. What a fucking wild trade. Wow. No one on LSU roster can score. Gaines been scoring double digits somehow. Yeah, his usage. He sucks. I'm sorry. He's got so much talent. That Eric Gaines kid, to me could be like one of the best guards in the country from raw talent. And I think he's hanging around with the wrong people, arguably into nefarious behavior. If you just watch him on YouTube, search his name on YouTube and watch a couple of those videos by whatever like fucking rappers or gang or whatever uploads them. I mean, he's not putting 110% into basketball, in my opinion. Colorado State or Nevada, fuck. I wanted to be on Nevada. It feels wide. What's Sherfield's status? I couldn't find it earlier today. I didn't know, but that's like the biggest part to me because I think Cambridge is way overrated and sucks. But clearly, we took Colorado State against who was that the other night, and it should have been a blowout. I mean, that was a dog walk against San Diego State. I mean, after the early where San Diego State had a bunch of lands, they didn't make them. That was a fucking dog walk from like the 10-minute mark forward. That should have been a dog walk. And then you're the team with better guards, more experienced guards, and you're the one letting up like a 10-0 run to almost lose the game in like the final minute and a half. They let up 8 points in 16 seconds. What the fuck? I'm not taking them. I'll tell you that. Another weird thing is if you're the Colorado State coach and you look at who's on the floor, why are you forcing the ball to Roddy every single fucking time? If you're going to take it to the rim, if I'm going to get it to you already rolling to the rim with a head of steam, sure, I'll let Roddy have the ball a couple times in a row. Like turnaround fadeaways from fucking David Roddy over like Isaiah Stevens or someone else. I don't care about the defensive matchups. That's stupid. That's poor coaching from an awesome coach, in my opinion. So I can't take Colorado State right now. I just can't do it. Lean Michigan. Yeah, I think I do. I haven't been very good at Penn State all season. And if Michigan's guards gets all fucked up, then sure. But at some point, and I think the 4 spot, 3 spot will be really good for Michigan. Diabate should fucking eat people today. Herb is, and he should be able to defend and swallow up, what's his face? Herb is a beast, bro. Are we talking about Herb Jones? Because I fucking love Herb Jones. He's the man. Pell's new lineup, Devontae Graham, CJ McCollum, B.I., Herb, Jonas. Can they win a playoff series? No, because CJ McCollum just went from one backcourt where he had absolutely no perimeter defense to another backcourt with absolutely no perimeter defense. You can't win in the playoffs without some stopper. In the NBA especially, you need it. Like think about like Klay Thompson. They used to put him on basically 1 through 4 and just say whatever. But you need like with Lillard, McCollum backcourt, it's just, I mean, you just pick on one of them. And it just doesn't matter. Just every play over and over and over again. You can't stop a drive. How are you going to win in the playoffs? So, no, I don't think so. I don't think you can do that. Confusing move for me to bring him there. Because what are you going to do with him and Devon? How are you going to defend anybody? Halliburton is so good. He's fucking amazing. Sabonis and Lamb for Halliburton and Hield. At least they got – I didn't see that part. At least they got rid of Buddy Hield. That's helpful. Sabonis, Holiday, and Lamb for Hield, Halliburton, and Tristan Thompson. Who cares about Tristan Thompson? Useless. Wait, Sabonis. Are we talking about Justin Holiday? Because Aaron Holiday's on the whiz now. Dude, I'm sorry, by the way. This thing's taking a minute to load, so I'm a little behind people's things. Can we see a path to victory for Mizzou today? Sure. I can see a path to victory. Do I want to take it? No. I'd rather be on Vandy, I think. But, yeah, I can see a path to victory. But I think the guard play is just going to be way better for Vandy. No, Mizzou kind of keeps overperforming. So maybe at 7, I don't think they can win though. Not really. I have a hard time with that because Vandy's playing a little bit better now. They went through like that complete shit can streak, and now they're playing a little better. If this was like a month ago, I think Missouri could win. Facts, and when Zion returns, the Bells will have 0 defense in the starting lineup. Yo, Zion ain't coming back. I don't know. Maybe he is, but he'll never come back with anything. I mean, I remember freshman year at Duke. I mean, I think his marketing scheme actually played out with how much money he's made and stuff. It's probably more than you'd make if you were like a less heralded NBA player. Maybe, maybe not. But now he doesn't have to work for it. Dude, he's been doing like triple reverse slam dunks. Like he was doing them when we were up by 30 against Army. I mean, this was all like a marketing scheme, whatever. I'm not sure he has any plans of coming back to play basketball, completely honest. I think we might just never hear from Zion again. Those knees are fucked, bro. They're absolutely fucked. There's nothing you can do about those knees. They're fucked. BC can't shoot. Cuse runs a 2-3. Cuse -4 by a mile. I'm slightly worried about like them just blowing by. Like there's a couple ways to beat a zone. Or whatever. Let's talk about Syracuse's zone. There's a couple ways to beat Syracuse's zone. One, you could stick a guy in the middle and try and have him play in the middle of the zone. The other, you just say fuck you and beat him off the bounce. and they might be able to say fuck you and beat them off the bounce. I'm mildly worried about the 4 actually, because their guards are just going to be able to take Boeheim and Gerard, whoever the fuck's playing defense, off the bounce. But I do think Hughes is playing better. But I'm mildly worried about that because they do have much more athletic guards that can beat the zone. Syracuse is really, their defense is not what it used to be. So you kind of have to expect that whoever plays Syracuse is going to just like hit a bunch. It's going to score a lot of points. Like the only reason NC State didn't score more points is because they had the wrong game plan approaching the zone and just kept chucking up stupid threes because they're so young and stupid. And poorly coached. Kevin Keats is fucking clueless. Maybe the UNCW coach that used to be there with him is the real brains, because Kevin Keats is pretty clueless in my opinion. I've seen the YouTube Everybody Can't Go is the series. Definitely nefarious. Yes. That everybody should watch that if you're thinking about betting on LSU. Because yeah, I'll tell you this much. I don't know. Eric Gaines is tied up in a couple of things. He is. He's got a couple, he owes a couple people favors or something. How do we feel about, okay, we just touched Syracuse. Sorry, I'm behind, guys. I'm in a hospital room and the fucking service is weird, although I'm right at the window. Sepp Jafter is out, not Wendell. So that makes me more confident in Arkansas for sure. UCF at home tonight versus Wichita. I don't know how you handicap either of these teams, but especially Wichita, because Wichita should be so much better. It's scary with the talent they have. I don't trust UCF. I don't touch Wichita. Anything can happen in that game. Gun to my head, just give me whoever the dog is. I probably just skipped over it looking at it because I was like, anything can happen. The amount of variance in this game. Oh, shit. My bad. All right, let me scroll back. I love Murray, too. Ready for Adam Miller and B. Murray to run the show next season. I know. What happened to Adam Miller? He got injured so early. There's the piece where you're like, shit, I wish I had that thing. He would be so helpful, and you wouldn't have so many gains minutes and stuff. Man, Adam Miller would be so helpful to this team. Can you expand a bit on Marist? Marist Monmouth. I mean, think about, is Shavar Reynolds playing? Can somebody tell me that first? But I think we're going to have inside advantage for Monmouth, obviously, but on the outside, man, Marist guards can run with anybody in this conference. That's what's keeping it a little bit closer for me. But how's Marist playing? Kind of like shit, right? Definitely like shit. Recently, they've lost 7 of 8, I want to say. I actually haven't watched them in the last few minutes. Let's see. Arkansas winning that. Hey, without Zep Jasper, that's fucking huge. I love how that fella asked what you were reading from. Must not know. Yeah, I don't know, bro. People come in here all the time, and I don't fucking know. I'm just trying to help people. I don't give a shit what that guy, who random people say. Arkansas, easy. Yep. Oh, man, so many people like Arkansas. You're starting to scare me. Neil Kumar, best player. Who do you think the best player in the matchup is? Jalen Williams? Note? Devo Davis, they do kind of have a lot better players. It's just fucking Auburn, man. I've lost so much money on Auburn. It's scary. Yeah, UCF at home, don't trust them. Mackay can get to the rim. Yep. I wish this thing would load quicker because we're starting to get like really good feedback and stuff now. We're rolling with this. They're getting very knowledgeable in here. I'm a big fan. I agree. Mackay can get to the rim. What's his face can get to the rim too, the other one. Gillespie out for Nova. Oof. All right, definitely lean St. John's then. Yeah, I'll lean St. John's. I would just say fucking take the money line. And then if you're just sitting there watching the fucking bricks they lay over and over again at the rim, I feel like I've said this before, but St. John's, the variance for them, it's not like 3-point variance. It's like, can you hit your fucking layups because you're the worst touch on the planet. Akron's train still rolling, -8 at NIU. I'm on NIU, brother. If you want to, I mean, maybe NIU like doesn't hit a shot at all, and it's just that bang bang kind of basketball, and maybe it leans that way because maybe better-ish team. I don't think Akron's that good. I've watched, they could really, really struggle scoring the basketball at times, just like NIU. So I think that washes a bit. But I think it's like 2 bullies getting in the sand and wrestling around. And it's like, that's the matchup that is helpful for kind of like, or it's helpful, or I guess it's more hurtful for both of them. Like they want to beat up on softer teams, whatever like that. But if you're just going to have them both butt heads like that, I'll just take the better scoring. I mean, maybe you have a little more inside presence for Akron, but then I'll take Hankerson and Keyshawn Williams over like Castaneda and whoever else any day of the fucking week. 10 out of 10, 7 out of 7 days of the week. Syracuse and UCF, I can't do it, brother. I need an absolute lock in CBB today. Same. Anybody got a fucking lock? I'd love a lock across the world. I can give you the closest thing I think to a lock pad kill is over the weekend. I think Cannoneer is a lock over Brunson. I don't see a fucking world where Cannoneer loses, and that's a pretty good price for what people consider like a lock. Marquette plus 6.5, I'd lean that way, but I wouldn't take any money line. I don't think they can win. I think it's a shitty spot. UCLA or Stanford. Interesting. Is Jaime Jaquez playing? That would be the key for me there, because if he's not, Delaire's probably going to have a day, and then UCLA just has to shoot a really high percentage. So if you're taking Stanford, you're probably on the right side without Jaquez, because they're tough, right? At home, they have McConnell, shit like that. So even though we're giving away the big guard play, it's still like the spread was really wide when I saw it, I think, right? Was it like, am I making up? It was like 7.5 in my head. No, it's 7.5. So, it's all about Jaquez for me. If Jaquez is playing, no, I don't want it. But I think Stanford can win that game. Kentucky spread, I'd lean that way. I would lean that way, but I think it's probably going to continue to come down. So you just wait right before tip to take it. Miller's mom wanted him to be the guy at Illinois, and Underwood said, no, no way. That's a good little piece of insight. Yeah, I mean, he just got Curbelo, right? And he thinks he's in love with Curbelo. I actually think Underwood is an awesome coach. People don't talk about him enough, but he's a really, really good basketball coach. Marquette, yeah, lean that way, but I wouldn't touch the money line. Wichita State has been a lot better since their COVID break. I'm leaning Wichita State, big game for them. Hey, I like that. They have been playing a little bit better, but they gave away that Tulane game. How many times did they lose that Tulane game? You can't lose that fucking Tulane game, man. That was a really, really bad loss. But UCF, I trust even less. And at least, as long as he plays decent, Wichita State is the best guard in that game, right? ETN is the best guard in that game. And Council is actually kind of slams its nuts around every once in a while. All right. Hammering Akron train at 8. Damn it, Tim. I love you. You're scaring me, guy. There's some variance baked into that game. I agree, but that's why I'm taking the plus 290 on the other side. I think there's going to be a lot of bricks. Going to be a lot of bricking in that game. I'll take the home. Shit, let me I need this thing to load again. It's having a second. So let me run through. Oh, here we go. Kent State at home. Who is that against? Fuck. We had that before. I'm just going to go through a couple after, by the way, because this thing needs a fucking second to load. Oh, Bowling Green, no. I'd rather be on Bowling Green personally. I can see it if you want it and you think Kent State just has unlimited offense at home. I mean, just Bowling Green won't stop them one time down the floor. I can understand that, but I think Bowling Green's just going to spread them out like crazy again and force their guards to play really well. And if Kent State's guards play really well, then hey, I lose. Oh, he's playing. Okay, then no, I don't want. With Jaquez in there, no, I don't. I don't think I do with Jaquez in there. I can see him winning. Fuck. I don't know. You know what? When you don't know, you don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know. Thoughts on the LSU A&M game? I want more points with A&M's inside within their interior defense. Creighton minus 7.5 versus Butler. I think it's a really good matchup for Butler. Whether they can win or not, whatever. I seem to keep getting Creighton wrong, but I think in theory it's a really good matchup for Butler, right? I mean, whatever they have Creighton has at the 2 and 3 spots, not really going to kill you. You have Aaron Thompson to put on the head of the snake in Nemhard. You have the interior presences to deal with what Creighton's going to throw you on the interior. I think Butler can win that game. I was thinking about taking Butler money line in all honesty, because I think they can win that game. And they were fucking scrappy. I forget who they played last time. That was one scrappy ass game though. So I would honestly lean Butler in that one. While this thing loads real quick, let me check YouTube. Shit, Dustin, my bad. It is party over here. My bad, dude. Let me get to these really quick while this loads. Wait, Mom, can you call Todd? He's calling me asking when I'm going to come pick him up. He told him we'd be done in like 15 minutes. All right, you mentioned the Arkansas game, but Auburn at minus 120 seems value to me. Just so you know, they're without Zeb Jasper. We've been talking about that. Wait, hold on. Just tell Todd I didn't mean to ignore him. Party's here now. What's up? UNC PK over Clemson. I touched on that one. Lean Clemson. I can't take UNC on the road. I just can't do it. How many times you want to get kicked in the nuts before, whatever. Texas A&M +2, literally a lock. Holy shit, my man. Confidence against LSU. But you're kind of banking. I guess if you take LSU, you're banking on Darius Days, so I understand. I could see the Purdue one going either way. I really can because Illinois has better guards. Please don't. Dustin, I love you, brother. We cannot call Purdue's guards great. They are not great. It's just the way it is. That's lying. Wait, shit. Okay. When this thing loads, it's just not loading the fucking chat for this. So I'll try and do this maybe at home or whatever next time. Sorry, Dustin. Yeah, dude, I can't do Purdue's guards being good. Wait, so let's see. Real quick, I want to run through until this loads. I think you could bucket UConn, VCU, St. Louis all in a bucket where I don't understand how the fuck they lose these matchups, but the spread might be too wide. I probably am going to take VCU or St. Louis if I had to out of that group. St. Louis, it's a really bad matchup for LaSalle. We love LaSalle, but I mean, they're going to get bullied inside, too much experience at the guard spot. That's a really tough matchup for them, in my opinion. Indiana State over Evansville. At some point, Indiana State, I think, turns it around. Don't see how. I mean, it's got to get close to the 9.5 or whatever. Toledo. I believe our boy is at the game right now. I'm rooting on Mr. Sears. But Noah, are you there? I believe he is there. But I'll take Toledo. Just too much guard play at home. We talked about this one kind of extensively yesterday, but I have to lean that side. I'll see if I can figure out how to get these fucking comments to load at some point. Sorry, guys on TikTok. If you really need to ask one, there's YouTube's also open. Michigan State because of the front court matchup. West Virginia. Oh, we talked about a bunch of these. Okay. St. Thomas, St. John's, Butler, Indiana, Wyoming. One we haven't touched on. I'll lean Santa Clara. I might end up with a piece if this goes up a little higher. I'd like to see like a plus 130, plus 140, and the best I can get right now is plus 125. Yes, whatever. I might take a little bit. We took them as like a 9-point dog at St. Mary's, and they kept it close all game. It was like a tie game with however much to go. They're the more talented team. I still believe in Santa Clara to some extent. They shouldn't be road dogs. I mean, it should be like a PK, if anything else. So I think there's a couple points of value on Santa Clara. I'll probably end up playing them. Whoever said, by the way, I got nets at 9. Maybe it came down from before, but I got nets at 9. And I'm trying to think. That might be the fucking brunt of it, guys. Are there any other matchups? Because I got to go pick up my stepdad because I've been taking the car to come to the hospital. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get this thing. I'm not sure I can get these to load. So I might just have to call it there. I'm sorry. But I'm going to end up on, what's it called? Definitely Wyoming, definitely Northern Illinois, part of the money line. I'm going to look for a live spot against Toledo. Oh, they just came through. No, they didn't. Yeah, I don't know, brothers. I'm sorry. Auburn game, what you thinking? And Michigan game, lean Arkansas. Zep Jasper out is monster, Stan. And I guess I lean Michigan State. Or Michigan. Because I'm trying to think about how that matchup goes. The guards, those Michigan guards might have some problems, but I think they probably adjust throughout the game. I bet you get a damn good price if you live bet that Michigan game. See, I don't do parlays. I don't do hedging. I've talked about that a bunch before, but live betting, they're giving you something for taking that extra juice. Like if you're getting minus 117 on either side, if you want to take that from me, you got to give me something. You're giving me a bunch of information. So we're big proponents of live betting. I think there's like tons of edge there. I know people that like exclusively do that. Lead Tulsa. I have a hard time seeing Eastern Carolina win that matchup. Oh, yep. I think that's how we're feeling. Yeah. Live betting rules, though. We only bet on teams with plus guard play. If you don't have plus guard play and shooting, you might fuck it. I don't know what you're going to do. I'm with Wisconsin +4. I wish you the best, my soldier. I hope Johnny Davis has a good game for you because I don't know if I'm going to end up on a Michigan State ticket, but I'll be honest, I lean that way just with the front court matchup. We need to – it's really hard for Wisconsin to get anything done without him scoring like 25 on pretty efficient shooting. Right now, his mid-range jumper isn't falling, and he's having some fucking problems with. And you see, Wisconsin's having some problems if his mid-range jumper isn't falling. What's up, Caleb? What's up, brother? Yeah, Wisco's away. I will say though, I think they have Wall back for this matchup, and I'm pretty sure he was missing for the first one. You should hop in my boys live. I know, bro. I get the little fucking taps all the time, and people keep messaging me and saying I need to figure out whoever Book It with Trent is. I have no idea who that is, but people keep fucking. Actually, I think he swiped by my thing the other day. I just saw like I saw him on there, but I didn't have time to look. I don't know who that is. People keep recommending to go on all these things. I have like no time for networking. I'm just trying to help. I'm literally just trying to help people. But if somebody sets it up, I'll go wherever. But I can't reach out to these people. Last thought on Creighton. I'd lean Butler. I think it's a really good matchup for Butler. I keep getting Creighton wrong though. I can't remember the last time I got Creighton bet right. I think I said I leaned UConn over them, and I won outright, and UConn was like 12-point favorites. I don't think I have a good grip on that team, and I think it's partly because I fade everyone with the last name Nembhard ruthlessly. Ruthlessly. That's one of my core sayings. Never trust a Nembhard. Book It Sports is legit. My boy Trent. Fuck, I'm gonna have to figure out eventually who that is. I don't know who it is. How old is he? A young kid or an old person? Wait, he's the most famous bettor on this app, but not a capper. Interesting. Yeah, I mean there's two different, right? Some people are gamblers, some people are some people are cappers. I'm a handicapper. I'm not the best bettor in the world in terms of actually laying bets, but I'll handicap it for you. I think I can tell you what's gonna play most of the time. Older, 24. Bro, I'm 32. I'm fucking old kid. I think it's because I'm Asian, but I'm 32. So he would be a youngin' to me if he's 24. All right. Interesting. I'm going to, you know what? That's my homework for tonight. I'll get back to you. He lives in Vegas. Interesting. Do you see what casinos he's usually at in his thing? Is he by Red Rock? If he's at Red Rock, then it'd make an introduction super easy because I'm there every day. Almost every day. At least for my degen bets at the end of the day. Red Rock, holy shit. All right. You know what? They gave him a penthouse room. Who the fuck is this guy? This guy throwing I actually, to be honest, the people that post their tickets and shit on here, you're fucking insane. If you lay upwards of 10 grand on like a unit or on a game, whatever, and you're posting the tickets, fucking good luck, because you haven't lived in Vegas long enough, and there's going to be somebody in your fucking living room going through your safe in the next fucking week. So good luck. Oh, he's such a bad bettor that they gave him. Oh, he's known as the fade guy. Well, then maybe I don't know. All right. Well, how about I promise for my homework tonight, then I will watch. I'll go on his whatever channel, I guess, and see what he's up to. Because now enough people have been like DMing me personally being like, you need to go on this guy's show. So I got to pay attention. I have to listen to you guys. You guys. Okay. Interesting. I'm not going to reach out to him. I'm going to be completely fucking honest with you, but I'll at least look at who he is for the time being. But okay. Sounds good. Oh, and by the way, the one last note on the Charlotte game yesterday, fucking my bad again. We were on the right side, and then I was like, whatever. Yeah, it was basically what we thought it was. It was just a better guard play. That's all. There was such a simple handicap, and I made it more difficult at the end. Give your picks out to my boys, bro. Aided podcast. He's live right now. I tell him about your picks. Interesting. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna write these down. I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight, but I promise all of you that if you guys are being this, like, you guys are fucking awesome. So if you guys believe this, I trust you. So I'm going to look. Aided podcast and Book It with Trent. At least the Book It with Trent thing. He got the name right. That's pretty. I've heard that like 3 or 4 times and it stuck in my head. That's a pretty good little fucking tag thing. Okay, man, you really think Butler wins that game? No, I think they can win that game. I think that the matchup is their way. I would have wrecked it if I definitely thought they would win. I think Butler can certainly win that game. It's an awesome matchup for them. But I think I get Creighton wrong a lot. But you're going to put Thompson on Nembhard. And then whatever. Usually, I think like having like what's his name, Harris or whatever at the 2 and stuff like that. I get that. Normally you get punished, but O'Connell's not taking him off the bounce and saying "fuck you." So I think we're fine at like the 2 and 3, and then let's just hold up inside. And when you can hold up inside, you're all right. So I think it's an awesome matchup for Butler. What? Yeah, I'll call your nurse in a second. Yo, I'm about to be out, guys. I'm finishing up. I need to get back to what I am doing. UNC or Clemson, Eileen Clemson. It is a hard one, but there's too many similarities to the Notre Dame game when we took Notre Dame over UNC. Trusting UNC on the road, you're asking for trouble. You just are. Whether it materializes as trouble or not, it's just what it is. You can guest request him and join us live with his homie if you're down to. Not, I understand. No, I will. Let me just look at what it is. Because I frankly, guys, I want to grow this or whatever, but I like helping people. Like, I like the community we have and like people coming back and stuff, and it's slowly growing. I'm trying to help people. That's frankly what I'm trying to do. So I wrote it down, Aided Podcast. I got it right. I will look at that tonight. I'll look at Book It with Trent tonight, and I will get back to you tomorrow, my brother, Caleb. Or I'll DM you or something. All day, every day show. Jesus. Oh my God. How does he have the time? Well, congrats. Hey, if he is that dedicated, I'll look it up. I will 1,000% look it up today because holy shit. My little brother just joined. What's up, Alex, you turd? All day, every day. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, that makes sense. All right. I'm going to go. I will look at that shit, and I will either, if you're on here tomorrow, we'll talk about it, or I'll DM you, but I promise I'll look at it because I really appreciate you guys. There's been so many people that DM me about this shit. I have to at least pay attention and try, whether I want to or not, whatever. So I will do it if you guys recommend it. So I'll look at that shit. I think we're pretty set. Last call for alcohol on plays. Wait, are you part of it? We'll talk about these questions later. Yeah. I don't care about fucking, my whole point is to help people. So if he's on the come up and I can help, that's probably makes it more enticing rather than less. I frankly don't give a shit. I know where this all ends no matter what. That's like the little thing we're building, our community and stuff. I know where it ends no matter what. So it doesn't matter to me. All right. I got to run. We will talk tomorrow. Just comment on the last one if you guys have any more questions. Otherwise, 1 p.m. tomorrow. And yeah, hope everybody has a wonderful one. Okay. I trust you, Caleb. We'll talk. Have a wonderful one, guys. 1 p.m. tomorrow. And yeah, have a great day.